Sorry about that, collective. Yeah, witchcraft is something you go out of your way to do. Like some of these healing industries, some of the places I've referenced. Thank you guys. Thank the professionals there, the healers there, because healers go to heal, and healers go where healers grow, right? And I noticed that in some of these establishments that I've mentioned, there are karmics, there are cult members, these losers that come in there to try to be antagonistic towards, and start these garbage conversations about, my situation in particular, just because I posted it, like they don't have control over their own mouth and limbs, right? And feel obligated to go out of their way to, say some shit about what I post. But I'm like, you literally, again, like, went out of your way to look at my video, take it as disrespect. You literally went out of your way to read my old post on Facebook, which I was popping off on Facebook. It's just like I wrote it out, and that's that. That's what it is. That's what it was, and it was between me and that person or those people, and everybody wants to jump on board all of a sudden like some cowards. Cool. I'm not hiding my face. I'm not hiding anything. I have nothing to hide. But you took it as disrespect and chose to read the disrespect, so that's not my fucking problem. I'm just going on about my life, going through life, and some of the things, like the things that they were failing to realize is that some of that stuff on there was prediction that has also come true. So there's that. But I do want to thank those professionals for transmuting that energy by saying, what they would be saying is that we're not here to talk about that, or we're not obligated, we're not supposed to be talking about that because there's I believe a pending case going on about it, the situation, and they're also, they're breaking the laws that actually are put in place to protect them the most. So they're actually stripping themselves of their own protection. So it's just like they're saying it in front of professionals. Like, should they be subpoenaed to court to speak on the situation, they will be legally and morally obligated to speak on it in the court of law. Further incriminating these people are checking in with badges, maybe under false names, maybe under real names. It doesn't matter. Faces are on cameras and everything like that. Being subpoenaed to court for breaking your own laws, the laws meant to protect you, is wild. And so that's like, kind of think twice before you do that shit. And then these places, some of them also have hidden cameras. This technology is just advanced. Like, that's what trips me out, is like how these people can find somebody on a weed charge, but they can't seem to find somebody on a murder charge. There's too many cameras. Okay, there's too many bits of technology that you can't find out. There's light cameras to give you traffic tickets on toll roads on the fucking freeway, right? And they can charge you $7 to $12 or whatever to have you pay for something you shouldn't be fucking paying for in the first place. But they can't find, the person who maybe murdered a family member or something like that. But they can find you because you threw an ounce of weed out the window when you got pulled over by the police. Right? They can find that ounce of weed though. Weird. And that kind of grinds the gears. And I'm not blaming. I'm just saying, like, there's too many resources for people inland, like the private investigators and stuff like that, who are on the up and up, don't have half as much, and they find out more and they solve more cases than some people. Some people that are supposed to be solving the actual case manage to do. I don't know if it's maybe better case management and not taking on more than not looking for a promotion and not taking on more than they can handle, but some of them do a damn good job from what I'm getting. But anyways, thank you for those who are just on their job. Resources are not, and I know there's all kinds of, also before I guess start on that, resources that you have to legally get access to. You have to, there's all kinds of red tape, so I don't, held over his head was something he spent half the movie trying to get him to do, was try a little narcotic, and say, always to help you do your job better is you got to know what it looks like, tastes like, feel like, what you feel like when you're on it, that type of stuff. Finally got him to bite into it. So he had to do the dirty. He used half the movie to, hold it over his head. Blackmail, that's another thing. Like, they use hella blackmail and, to get people to do what they want. But as I said, embarrassment is a tool of the ignorant. So, and it's a tool that is used against the ignorant, because it's just like, if it exists here, why be embarrassed about it? The only thing you should really be embarrassed about is like committing these crimes, going out of your way to fuck with somebody's life, fuck with their mind, and just like not focusing on yourself in a high vibrational way. Like, understand, some people got to go through their dark night of the soul. Some people do get on drugs because they want to internalize their pain versus take it out on other people, even though it does hurt other people that actually do love and care for them. Maybe they just don't know how to properly show it well enough, or they don't love themselves enough to, keep them off the substance. And drugs are used to avoid the problem, right? Avoid what actually needs fixing, which is usually internal. But yeah, like the movie, and then in the end, he was the one who got it. He used all this blackmail on a guy based off one. It's a very narcissistic move. He used all this blackmail based off of one incident with the guy, and the shit finally left his system. He came to his systems, and he he worked his way out of it in the end, right? And in the end, the villain gets it with no Vaseline. And good or bad, like, if you're on the right side of things, don't let these people try to intimidate you, try to fear monger you, abuse you in any, out of speaking your truth, out of speaking the truth, because it's like, when you speak your truth, it exposes them. And that's the one thing they want you to sit there and lie to yourself, be like, oh, everything's great, peachy keen, like, maybe within you, but around you is a fucking cesspool of mental entrapments of people who have done shit 3 times worse than you have, but want to hold you to the one or two, the things that you've done in your past, though, and you're wiping your slate clean. And like, the whole thing is, they don't want you to get around other divine beings, people who are on their divine path, because they know that getting around those types of people and not standing around the people who want to hang on to that because of their own guilt, of their own shit, actually cleanses things. It's kind of like, these guys always talk about a female with female's body count, but I'm like, if a man's trying to be your last, if he's trying to build with you, shit don't matter. It matters, but it doesn't, because it's like, it's a quality as well, the people you actually got with, and that goes for male and female alike, because I'm not the one walking around with sexually transmitted demons where I would sit there and poke fun at somebody's sex life, where I would sit there, I might retaliate with it, just like, or just get a read off of it. It's like, oh yeah, you're boring, or something, like your life is just not satisfying enough to not even worry about that aspect of somebody else's life, even though you're married, right? So stuff like that. And like, some of these people, it's like, the people they slept with would have them worry about it because they have a sexually transmitted demon, a spiritually transmitted demon, right? So they lay down with somebody and got a spiritual attachment instead of a spiritual connection, right? Instead of a divine connection. And that sucks, because it's like, that would have you overly concerned with somebody's past. That would have you over sexualizing a person based off of one or more people that they may have been with intimately. Because there's levels to this intimacy stuff. So, and even though I say quite a bit on this channel, it's still not all of me. And I don't know, if I'm ever across a certain person. They got the wrong one and the right one wrapped in one. Like, there's been people that these people fail to mention, and they fail to realize that they got shitty karma for coming after me. You know, some of them are in their grave now. A lot of them lost jobs. You know, they lost stability. They lost their homes. They lost their vehicles. They lost a lot in the material aspect, because that's what they held on so dearly to, and got launched into their spiritual journey. I'll to see them as their healed self, you know, or not. I don't really care. In fact, I made it a point to annul all contracts of this lifetime, like for eternity.